Let's wait for the man to stop sawing. Finished? Yeah, I'll speak extra quick. Hello folks, hope you're well. Today we are hopefully getting this bad boy fixed. If you watched the GX10 rehearsal vlog of me prepping to go on tour with the Bryony Williams band, you'll have seen that I was using this, if you were particularly keen-eyed. And it is a 2006 72 Tele. It's very good, it's very stable, you know, an ideal guitar for live use. However, in that rehearsal, that pickup randomly failed. Never come across that before, but apparently these things do happen. So, plan is take it up to see Andy. You'll get to meet him. He's an incredible tech and repair guy, and he just knows everything there is to know that you don't know. You know, even for me with a little bit of knowledge as far as setting up, there's plenty that I don't know, but he's an encyclopedia with this stuff. The last time I saw him at that rehearsal, he off the cuff mentioned a couple of upgrades that people do to these. So obviously I'm gonna have to get that fixed and or replaced. And then later in this video, you will hear about some ideas, perhaps controversial ideas, that I have for this guitar to kind of bring it in line with the other instruments that I use live, namely some kind of trem. I'm going to be guided by Andy, ultimately. He set it up once about 10 years ago and it just played brilliantly for the next decade. So I am looking forward to seeing what he can do with it and also what he thinks about the upgrades. And the best part of all of this is that you get to meet him. And if you're, you know, local or maybe even not so local, you will find out about perhaps one of the most valuable resources, guitar resources in the UK that you could hope to find out about. He's the man. Let's go and meet him. We have arrived in Wolverhampton town centre. Let's go and say hello to Andy. Here we go. Back at the Center Rooms. Don't worry, they've not come for me.
It might be a case of...
This isn't even straight, it's actually, I don't know why they've done that, but they've made it angled.
1937.
Yeah. So it's based on it's Supertone that became Harmony.
How about that for a coincidence?
Yeah. I don't know if it's pronounced Rota.
Rota, yeah. Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio?
Yeah. So I googled him earlier, a guy named James. He passed away 5 years ago as it goes. Yeah, this is brilliant. So today's March the 11th, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
March the 11th on that receipt. Sadly no year, but for a set of strings, $1.75 plus six tax.
Or
Yeah.
6
cents in tax. Yeah. March the 11th.
March the 11th, and they say we don't live in a simulation.
Yeah.
Folks.
How mad is that?
It's great.
You could not make that up.
And what are you doing with that, Andy? Is this a project
Well,
or?
John's my mate as a guitar builder and
This is John.
repairer. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, John.
Hello.
Matt, how's it going?
So John's going to build a new bridge for it because obviously it's snapped.
Yeah.
And we're going to. The frets are very. Well, you can hear them.
Sounds
Had
like
a grating.
sandpaper.
Yeah. So we'll get all our get it up and running again. You know.
Yeah.
And if you look at all the screws, which dates it as well, they're all slot. Everything's slot on it.
Right.
There's no crosshead.
No. Yeah.
I'm not sure when crosshead came out, but I know they could have put them on a 52 Telecaster, but it was too expensive to do it, so they stayed with a slot head.
Quality.
Yeah, because it was like the magic new, the latest iPhone.
Tech.
Yeah. So there you go. So even the case is cardboard.
I love them. I love these cases.
Yeah,
That is crazy, isn't it?
It'd been like a Sears catalogue thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
So has this just stopped?
So that's stopped, and then you also mentioned the brass upgrade, and get this, you're ready to be appalled. I'm thinking about putting mate, you did a Bigsby on my good friend Graham's black 72 custom, and it was lovely. So I'm thinking about, because I need trem these days, I'm thinking about, would you you know, is that a thing?
Did
that
you
we could
try
do?
your friend's guitar?
Yeah, you did the Bigsby. It was great.
And how old were you when you tried it?
20. It was 10 years ago at least.
Yeah.
20 something. Yeah.
Yeah, because the weight it adds to the instruments is colossal.
Okay. So I mean, I guess that would change the bridge, wouldn't it, if we did a Bigsby,
Yeah,
as opposed to your suggested brass saddle upgrade.
Yeah, and I think
There's a couple of different approaches. The full Bigsby kit, yes, it does. You actually
it's
end
got
up
a
with
cutaway on it.
yeah, like a
yeah.
floating bridge. It actually, I think you have to put a shim in the neck as well.
I did have a little poke around in there, but I was
I'm pretty sure these are the boys that we want.
I looked at it and went, nah. I'll leave it.
It's
the right
I'll
answer.
leave that.
It's got a lot of marks of sort of sweat
Yeah.
that can go down the. Because what happens, you sweat off your hand, goes down through the magnet and rusts the wire, and the wire snaps.
It's interesting.
Well,
Yeah, corrodes.
it corrodes, and that's the end of that. It's got a very sketchy earth in it.
Is it?
Look at that.
Oh, good lord.
So, what happens with this neoprene here? It just deteriorates, and you can see how it's rotted.
Oh, the actual, like, that rubber
Yeah.
cap has, like, corroded, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's latex, so it just
Yeah.
disintegrates after
That's
a
mad.
while. Not really.
Sometimes not.
I mean, that's not exactly what you want for a
No,
live
that's-
show, is it? That kind of reliability
Less
is.
than optimal, yeah.
It doesn't suggest you're going to get through the set, does it? Yeah.
See, so what's happening now? I'm pushing the clip. You've got the continuity.
Dodgy earth.
So whether that's causing your pickup, I don't know. Whether that's your pickup issue.
Let's find out. That one's on.
That's sort of not.
That ain't working. Even with the earth. So I think
Knackered.
Oh, you've got two problems. That's weird.
So we'll desolder it, see what it's pushing. I can whack something in temporary anyway to decide what you want to do. But I think we're going to go old school earth anyway. So the way they used to do it,
I'm happy to be guided by you on everything.
yeah,
you know,
the way
whatever
they
you
used to do it, literally, it would just be an earth wire sandwiched in between the bridge and that, not relying on this
on
to
that.
work.
And then the pickup itself grounds through the metal strings. That hasn't got a base plate on it though, so it won't ground through the springs.
Yeah, it's got these IMAS
What's going on there?
screws.
Oh, bloody hell.
You know how an elastic band goes?
Yeah. Well, that's just, I mean, that seems like a totally insane...
There's the problem. I can see it.
Ah.
I can see the faults.
This guy. Look at it. Straight into it.
So, see this very fine wire here?
Yeah.
It's all nice and in one. You see this one?
Oh, bloody hell.
So it's broke there. So that's your issue. That's why it's not working.
Wow.
So
it's new pick.
Because they're exposed, what I tend to do is put tape over it before the string
That
goes
seems
on.
like a much more sensible...
And then that's
thing to do.
actually held in by all the wax potting that goes on it
cool.
as well.
Amazing. So that's ready for the bin then, that guy, presumably? Nah.
not yet. You can't throw things away just like that.
We have the technology.
It's when we got the steady hand. So I didn't officially introduce you, did I? So this is John Roberts.
Hello again, John.
I wrapped holes in bits of wood.
That's cool. You said you were RF previously.
I used to be, yes.
Yeah.
Retired in 2012.
Fantastic.
I was an aircraft engineer.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so me and John, I don't know, I think we've known each other probably off and on 15 years.
Something like that, yeah.
He builds guitars, and that's how I first met John, and then I started doing some setups on his guitars for him on his Gretches and such like. And then we lost contact. It was like a bit sort of lost families thing.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
And then
shop closed down and
then one day he comes knocking on the door here a couple of years ago, maybe a bit longer, and says, there are jobs that you don't do that you'd like me to do. And I went, yes, coming in. So John kindly has done refrets for me and different things
That's cool.
and that, which, you know, I trust his work. His work's great. And he winds pickups, as I say. And I've fitted his pickups in lots of guitars. And
Did you pick up a company of a name?
I'd sort of sell them under Bedlam. There was
Bedlam.
someone in the company,
cool.
but no, there was the name of an old band that I used to be in, and it kind of stuck. So everything's Bedlam. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. He's only fixed it.
That works now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's mental.
The clunk.
Reassemble.
That is amazing.
Not from ears, and I was hoping you were going to buy one of my pickups.
What is
fruit
that?
bowl.
Yeah, it's a
Good
fruit
grief.
bowl, all made of recycled stuff, and the guy had bought these precision bass pickups to put on this 3-string bass, and you can see it's a nut and bolt for a bridge.
Yeah.
And
That is cool.
anyway, it didn't work. He says, I've tried to solder it and it's all gone a bit wrong. And it was a similar repair to that.
Interesting.
Probably a little bit harder than doing this one, to be honest. But we got it working and he was well chuffed. And it was just lovely to do because basically it's all bits of junk that was going into landfill and he's turned it into an instrument and
it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mad.
Yeah, that's nuts. Wow.
Grip.
Interesting layout of the frets. What's going on there?
Well, it's fretless. They're just markings.
Oh, right.
Probably for that.
For his favourite notes.
Yeah, for that particular tune he's playing.
Yeah.
It's nice with stuff like that, you know. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm quite happy working. I don't care whether the guitar's 30 quid or £3,000. You know, they're instruments, aren't they?
Yeah.
And to be able to get them up and running for people,
It's brilliant.
it's just lovely. And you know, most of them you can do, and the occasional one you can't. And it's just the way it is. So I'm not putting it back like that. Although I'll put the earth on, and we've got a new thing. I think I'm going to go belt and braces on this. I'm going to put a proper earth in.
What do you think about this bridge then? The brass bridge versus the Bigsby. I'm kind of happy to be guided by you on this, Andy. Should I go for the Bigsby? I'm famously very indecisive. So if you say let's do a Bigsby, then I'll.
I know exactly where Andy's going to go with this because I know his opinion on Bigsbys.
Well,
I like how stable it is. Is it going to ruin that? Is it going to?
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, what the brass saddles will bring to the party is a bit more,
Zing.
it's a bit more spark, a bit more top end.
Well, I'm always happy with that because particularly this one, the bridge I actually quite like. Always quite like the bridge, but I like that one. But it is sort of a little bit woolly for my uses, a little bit over round, so that might help with that guy.
Yeah, if you're finding it a bit too warm, I wouldn't remove the screws because you'll make it even.
Yeah, well, just on this guy. This one,
right.
That one is cool. I always liked how that one sounded, and the middle.
One of the original ones.
It's early 2000s, I think.
I think it. Yeah, because obviously the reason, I suppose it wouldn't be too difficult for a clever man who knows about pickups to put the coil split in. Because the original ones had the coil splits
Well,
in.
that's all they've done. Is just that is your coil. Those are the two where they would normally be joined together. They're just joined together by a wire.
Yeah, so in theory then, we could tap a wire off there, attach it to a push-pull, and it would go down to single coil.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be more.
John, you've sent me all moist.
I don't know if I got that look, John, but that was the comic timing on that suggests to me that you have been on camera at least once before in your life.
So, if we were to take that, then turn this up, and we went. So both coils are on now. If I go down to earth,
Yeah, there you go.
That's mental.
so we could actually coil split that.
I mean, that might be a cooler upgrade than the Bigsby, right?
Absolutely, because all we've got to do, we'll just drop one of these pots out,
Yeah.
swap it for a push-pull.
Yeah.
Robert's your father's brother.
And it still kind of looks the same. So it has that. It has this like it's still. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with that actually.
You could. That's a 2-core wire,
Yeah.
but you could very easily switch that for a 4-core wire and bring the ends out and actually do it neatly without having to run an extra cable through there.
But no, that should be easy enough to do.
Dear viewer, we've decided against the Bigsby, but through some magic, we're tapping the humbucker in the neck. Oh yes, we are.
Yeah, so we're going to take this tone out and we're going to swap it out for a push-pull version.
This is definitely not a mod for the sake of it. I didn't come here today just like I'm going to do a mod for the YouTube video. That is
my guitar down.
This is actually something that has always bugged me about this guitar, is that however well or not I set the amp up for the bridge and the mix, the neck was just always super woolly and no fun.
So we're going to drop that in. That'll have your little push.
Nah, look at that.
So in, it'll be on Booker. Pull it out.
And it'll be the same knob as well.
Yeah, be on the
No
same.
way!
Yeah, so it's all like magic. Right, so that's about right there.
Great. So that is the new push-pull. Gone in.
50-50 chance it is 100% going to be out of phase.
I can't get the nut on at the minute, so yeah, phasing's the least amount.
Performance anxiety.
Oh, that's a cool tool. That's a new pop being tinned.
Very helpful to make all the leads black. So normally it's like
Is it the black wire or the black wire?
Yeah, so normally that's if it's black. Well, of course,
Except when it's not.
When it's not, so we've got to put your tone in, which is the feed to the tone, which is there.
I stare at the Fender circuit diagrams and I go, I'm sure that would make sense to somebody, but not to me.
When I was employed at One Way, it wasn't to work on guitars. It
No.
was to sell keyboards.
Mad.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to keyboards, eh?
Most of them ended up at my house.
Yeah, and you've got a collection, Andy, right? You're like a...
Well, I wouldn't say a collection as such, although my wife does ask where the octopus is that plays all.
Do you have a room? Do you have a room with like the racks on
like
the wall?
all of us, we have the studio.
Yeah.
/ ironing board room.
That's right.
/ box room.
That's right. All right. So here's a little. What's your favourite synth or keyboard, Andy?
It's always going to be a Roland Jupiter 8.
That's cool.
I can never afford one.
It's a classic.
I had the opportunity of buying one in the 80s, late 80s when they were uncool, for about 450 quid, and I couldn't afford one then. Now they want about 28 grand for one if you can find one. Yeah. So I've got a synth called a Jupiter X.
That's your room.
So that's a small selection.
I'll drop a link to that in the description. That's cool. That is. I love it. The lights.
Yeah, when the lights are off, it is just crazy.
That's a cool room.
I tend to do a lot of 80s covers. That tends to be my thing. This is going to be too thick, isn't it? Or is it? Ooh. Doesn't need to go onto both sides, because in theory, if you've got two humbuckers, you can use the one switch and you just wire the one side for the one coil split and the other side for the other one. A lad who used to work at the shop who used to repair all our amps and that.
At One Way?
Yeah. He sort of said about, he says, well, wire both up, because if the one side fails, you've got the other side running. I mean, chances of it failing are very slim, but it was just always...
See, that's why this is so helpful, because I would never have thought of doing that, but that's just a pro tip.
Really cool little failsafe.
That
you're just building into your work.
Yeah, not that I can solder it at all now. I've tinned it, so I'll have to go another way.
Because everything inside that box there is plastic, so if you put too much heat on it, it will melt.
Terrifying.
Just trying to frighten me, ain't you, John?
Huh?
Just trying to frighten me.
Yeah.
It's on camera, don't mess it up. So that one's there. Before I put anything back together, we need to finish this.
Let's have some wires left over.
Yeah, I've got some left over, so we'll cut that off for the bridge earth. You see, everything we're soldering, prep is the key to it all. You know, tin everything before you even just attempt to attach anything to anything. Always make sure that it's tinned. This is going to need to come around this way. So I reckon we can go there with our earth. So even though obviously we've got solder on here, we're still going to
yes, there's already some Is that your solder or that's the original?
That's the original solder, which depending on the age of this might be, it looks like it's solder without any lead.
Yeah.
That's why it's doing that. That's why it's going into a bobble. We don't want to hold too much heat on it either, so we want to be as quick as we can, so we get a nice joint. Yeah, that's that done. So one of the really nice things with you, this is all like vintage cloth wiring.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, if you put too much heat on this, you melt plastic. You know,
Less than ideal.
It's just plastic, so you have to be nice and quick with this sort of stuff. Whereas if it's cloth, it doesn't melt. There we go.
Incredibly relaxing to watch this.
I love soldering. It's
I can feel my heart rate just
do an ASMR
coming down.
Video.
Just amazed that the original pickups been resurrected as well.
In theory, we should have some quite useful sounds out of this now. We should have that kind of strat in between clicky, the quacky sound that everyone likes. We should be able to get that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Creme brulee your guitar.
Yeah, just looking at this desk, what I think separates, obviously it's like everything is to hand. All the stuff is there, from my point of view, and I'm sure some, amateurs like me have a setup like this, but to have everything there that you might need, like, whereas if I'm doing something, I'm like, I've got to go and find that particular screwdriver.
Yeah, which you won't find, so you have to find something else that you think might do the job. Yeah, so you're always compromising with what you're finding. But it's like, although it looks, I guess what I'm coming around to is, although it looks like you're working slowly and calmly, the speed at which this has happened is quite alarming for me. But, yeah. The chaos here is organised.
Yeah.
When I left the RAF, I went to go and work for I should probably not say that. A major car manufacturer.
Yeah, we could get rid of whatever you want,
And yes, they're very. They use lean principles a lot, and you're always conscious of exactly that. Every moment that you spend going and getting a tool or walking around is time that you could have been spending building a car.
Lean principles, everybody.
It also, not only does it speed you up, it cuts out a lot of mistakes, because like Andy said before, you're not then trying to use a tool that's not really the right tool for the job. You're not dropping the guitar in a big pile of tools and dragging it around and scratching it. So the quality of your work goes up when you're better organised, as well as the speed of your work.
Does that switch look alright to you, Andy, at the top here?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty much
good.
L-shaped Switchcraft switch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we should do before we put this back. Yes, I did notice a couple of pots were crackly. We need to give it a blast with the old deoxit, which is probably one of the most expensive switch cleaners you'll ever buy, but it's also one of the best, because it don't just wash it with electrical cleaner, it actually, as the name suggests, it deoxidises everything.
Which is exactly what you want, isn't it?
Oh, we're in.
Nice.
Mostly in. Track wire over there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. There it is. That's the one, John.
Give it a wiggle and slide straight in.
Someone.
That's getting cut. So we're at the putting things back together point by the looks of it.
Oh, I can never put them all back together because that just jinxes it.
We need to test it first.
That's a good idea.
First thing I want to do is make sure that our bridge plate's earthed.
Okay.
Now, so we got
in tune with the song.
Good continuity there. Yeah, so that's all cool.
Never known anyone check what key their multimeter's in before.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Right, both coils are on.
Yeah.
That's good.
That bulb is on, so when we go back at here, that's tone in.
Nah, look at this.
So that's coil splitting there.
That sounds like it might actually be in phase as well. Have we struck it lucky?
Well,
such a shame we don't have 6 strings to put on it, but
I think we've got to put another couple on so we can hear it.
I think we have, haven't we?
Can't not, because I've got to balance the pickup shits, because obviously this is just in any old way. Are you in standard tuning, Matt?
I am indeed.
Yeah.
Paid an extra £1.40 for my parking just so I can hear what this sounds like.
I'm in phase.
You are in phase.
Come on now.
get it.
Mate, that was great. I'm glad you were here to tell me. Yeah, because
What's
I've done
that?
it before with I think it's Kent Armstrong's where you can do that with it, but it never, the penny didn't drop. Well, it did, but not properly. So it was good to ask you to say, can I take a wire from that and drop it down to earth? Brilliant.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. I'm
I'm
genuinely excited.
What I'm loving about this, right, what's happened today, is that obviously the pickup repair was on the table. I didn't think that was happening today. And we've got a coil split. And this has all happened, like when I did the little thing at home saying I'm coming to see Andy. None of this, I didn't know any of this was happening today. So that's just pushes now.
If you pull it,
Pull.
come on,
What?
put your camera somewhere so you can have a play.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I'll just sit here. We'll
Yeah.
get you plugged in.
I'll get that.
Fabo.
I'll get that guitar over because I have to go in a minute.
Okay.
I'm running out of parking money. I'm fascinated to hear what this sounds like though.
No way.
So you're on clean, crunch, dirty.
We all want to hear. We were teasing there, weren't we? We've got the bridge, middle, and then if I switch now, is that going to go to the normal?
Yeah, so you'll get your normal neck, as you
yeah.
know. And
Okay, so
yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool through there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's still very woolly.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Paul.
No, the other one. That's the term for it. So
I'll give you a call on Friday. Ooh, much.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Very cool. You see, I immediately went for that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just got the chop, hasn't it? And then,
Yeah.
oh, that's
in the middle. That's just gorgeous.
yeah, that is beautiful. Yes. It just makes so much more sense as a pair now, doesn't it? Which one did you say was the crunch element?
Number 2 will give
Number
you a little
two?
bit of dirt. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect, yeah. So, nice. Much cooler. You know, much kind of clearer, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's much more usable.
Nice. And then that's cool. Yeah. Look at it.
Well, the thing is, when you're on full humbucker and you go in the middle, you can't hear that. It's like it's doing nothing. isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So that now is tapped and that.
Yeah.
Is that beautiful. And what we got on number 3?
A lot more dirt.
was somebody flicked my on switch then, didn't they? Oh, come on, Andy.
New guitar, isn't it?
Yeah. Why doesn't it come from the factory like that?
And then let's. Lovely to meet you, sir.
Ta-ra, mate. Thanks, John. It sounds really good.
Amazing. My brain is blown. Brutal.
It's lovely, mate.
That is fantastic, sir. Thank you.
So we've resurrected this. It was dead. We've fixed that for you now. Put a permanent earth on now instead of relying on the earth from the pickup. So no matter what happens under there now, you're always going to have earth, which is great.
Yep.
Obviously now we've got this little beast here that when we pull this will drop us into a single coil. And I say if you end up wanting to keep it mainly on the single coil, when it's in next, we'll just swap the switch so it works in reverse. When it's down, it'll be single coil and you pull it off your humbucker.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it, everything can go back to square one. Obviously we've swapped the pot out, but you'll keep the old pot. If you ever need to go back to square, well, that's a piece of cake to do that. But why would you? Why would you want to go back? Because that sounds so good now.
That has basically fixed everything that was, stopping me playing that every show. Really. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Andy, thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Thank you for your time and
always a pleasure.
Thanking you. On screen handshake. We will see you next time, folks. Take care.